Hi. So today we are going to start writing our paper. It's an exciting day. We're going to start the process of getting this big, huge task out of the way, and I'm excited for you. I'm going to break this into two videos. The first one, I'm going to show you how to put your resource into Noodletools. And then the second one, I'm going to show you how to create a note card. And this is going to be a process that you are going to work through repeatedly. For each resource that you use, if it's a good, rich resource, you should be able to make 2, 3, 4 note cards, maybe 5, out of that one article. So we're going to sort of walk through that process. Just like always, there's a reference sheet that's always going to be available. So everything that I show you is in there in case you're having any weird tech issues. We already have been walked through the process of setting up your account in Noodletools. So you each have a project in Noodletools. And actually, let me pop over there. You're going to know for sure that your project is shared because on this little tab here for next to it, you've got this black check mark there. So when you log in, hopefully you will see that check mark and you'll know that you're in good shape. If you have a citation from one of the databases, so we've all looked together at Gale Opposing Viewpoints. We talked a little bit about some of those other databases that you have available to you. If you have a citation from there, it's a good, high quality citation. And so because we know it's a good, high quality citation, we're able to stick it right into to tuck it right into Noodletools just the way it is. So depending on where you get it from, there's going to be some different tools that are available to you. They're all there. They just look a little bit different because there's different companies that are making this. So this little cite, button or something like that. Sometimes you might have to dig a little bit under page tools, but they'll give you the citation. Often it's also at the very bottom of your article too. You're going to want to take a look at it, see if you can figure out what it is. Is this a magazine article? Is this a newspaper article? Sometimes it's written by the database itself, and so that's an original content. But I'll show you why we need to see that later. If you're given a choice, we need to pick the highest MLA number that you can find. So it should be MLA 8. There are lots and lots of different citation types. You can see right here, there's APA, Chicago, etc. We use MLA, and again, the highest number that you can find. So let me pop over to Noodletools to show you what to do with that. So now that we have our project created, we are basically always going to be under these two tabs. This video will cover the first tab. Next video will cover the second tab. So the sources tab, we want to make sure that our source is put into Noodletools before we take any notes on it. Couple reasons for that. The entire reason why we make citations is to stop and make sure that we have a good, reliable resource. Who's talking to us? How old is this information? Where is it coming from? If I can't figure out who the author is or how old this information is, I can't use it. That's why we lean so heavily on the databases, because they do a lot of that checking for us. So I've got my article. I'm going to go to New Source. Every time I have a brand new article, I'm going to use this green button up here, New Source. And then I need to tell Noodletools what it is that I've got. For many of these articles, it is going to be database. Later, you may end up using some websites. It is not impossible that you would have a print article or a book. Or if you end up watching some sort of video or a documentary or YouTube or something like that, you'll be able to use one of these other options here. For all of us today, since we've all been using the databases for those first couple of articles that we annotated, we're going to pick database. Lots of things can be found in a database. Now, because the database gave us our citation fully formed and we know it's good, if I make a mistake here, it's not the end of the world. But for those other tabs, if you have website, etc., you need to make sure that you pick perfectly because you're going to have to fill in all of the boxes. For the databases, in a pinch, if you can't tell exactly what it is, just pick journal or magazine. It's not a problem. Now, they give me all these boxes to fill in, but there is a shortcut. They did the work of putting that citation together. I don't want you to dismantle it. So right up here at the top, this copy and paste a citation. That's the shortcut. That's what you're going to want to use. Copy and paste a citation. And they give us some more warnings about making sure that it's really good. And the first box here is manually edited citation. This is where I'm going to paste my citation. There is a second box lower down, annotation. We will be using that, but not now. So please make sure that you put citation where it says citation. In my drive, because you move your articles over into Drive, if they were from opposing viewpoints, they'll be found right inside a labeled folder. Gail actually creates that labeled folder for you, and they even change the color of it to have it stand out, which is pretty great. So if you, are looking at your article itself, you can come up to that Cite button, or if you have the article, that was tucked into your drive, you're just going to go down to the bottom and get that source. And we don't need the label. See how this says source citation, MLA8, etc. We don't want that. We want everything else. So I'm going to highlight that and copy it, and then bring it back over to Noodletools and paste. And I've mentioned before, and it's worth repeating, this is not Google. So everything that you do in Noodletools, you do actually have to save it. So I've pasted it in there, and then I actually do have to hit save. It's taking a second. Now that it's there, I'm able to move on to make note cards on this article.